Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I always appreciate your presence. Let's melt more into being, shall we? I'm gonna pour myself a glass of water. I'm going to take a little snippet, a little reading, a little bit out of this little book I have of things I believe are worth saying. You know, none of these things I'm claiming to be true. None of these things I'm claiming to hold any other value other than they are worth saying, right? You say them, you allow yourself to feel what comes by having heard it. Yes. Okay. Yesterday's was really good. Today, excuse my voice crack. Today, I and I alone am the source of what I experience and perceive. Yeah. I and I alone am the source of what I experience and perceive. So, there's a bunch of ways. Hey, Javan, thank you for joining me, my friend. I appreciate having you here. Lane is here as well. How has your Monday been, my dude? My Monday was good, friend. My Monday was really good. I woke up to see Javan streaming. And then, because, it was something that's almost, comical, Javan. I was literally telling myself, okay, I wanted to dance, but now Javan is streaming, so I can't go dancing because I have to stay here with Javan and spend some time with her. And then literally, as I finish that thought, your stream drops, and I'm like, well. And then I kind of want to hold on to that excuse. And then I go to the chat and I ask you some questions, and you're like, okay, Belty, go dance. And I was like, oh well, I guess here we go. I didn't think I saw you there. Maybe on the first stream, but the first stream's comments wasn't working. So it's nice to have you here now, friend. Oh, this boy is amazing, Estian. Thank you for getting it. This boy is amazing, Estian. Thank you for getting it. This bot, the notification bot. I'm so, I'm legitimately having a good time having it up because it's just so much easier to find, to go directly to the streams. Having other friends to stream as well. I'm on the Sweat and Smile stream, this insane stream. I'm on Haywire Hill stream. I was on Monk Live stream. I was on, still am, on the PBGB stream. So all of them have the notification set up as well. And then if you want to go and tune into someone's stream, you just go straight there and you click on one button and it takes you where you're supposed to go. It's so nice. It's so nice. I'm happy that you appreciate it as well. Viking Queen, Lisa says, hi Estian, Lane, Jovan, and Viking Queen. Hello to you, Lisa. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to you as well, Sensei. Dude, I can't, man. You're almost too much, dude. The smile I had on my face watching the last bit of your stream. So I kind of, because I was getting ready to set my stream up, I came into the kitchen area. My brother and my sister was there as well, and I had you on my phone, so the volume was turned on and you were having chats, and my brother asked me, who are you watching? And I'm like, it's insane, it's another streamer friend. And then you kind of sticked around and kept watching you. Just the way that you are, dude. With the whole showering thing, with just you being so playful, so comical. I had a big smile on my face. He had a big smile on his face. It was just this, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for who you are, Simon. Thank you for doing what it is you do. You're a bright star, friend. I hope that you know that. Simon, day 21, super stoked. Yes, you're now in the, I want to say Giga Chad zone. What's the female version of a Chad? I'm trying to think of a, what's your real name, Viking Queen? We'll make that the female version of a Chad. Because 21 days without food, I've not even been able to do that. The longest I've gone without food was 14 days, and that was difficult. It wasn't, an easy task. So you doing an extra week on top of that, take my hat off for you, friend. Dragonborn RKO is here as well. Every time I read your name, dude, I played Skyrim like probably for about 300 hours or something. So Dragonborn is something that's very lodged in my head, and I'm just imagining you as the Dragonborn RKOing dragons, dude. Instead of you stealing their souls, you just RKO them to death, dude. Like that's the final finishing move. Instead of stealing their souls, like I wouldn't be surprised if there's a mod for Skyrim where instead of stealing their souls, you just RKO them to like you finish them with an RKO or something, and it like breaks my brain, dude. I love it. Stacy is the female version of Chad. Candace is my real name. Candace. Well, you can. I mean, it's probably a joke you've heard 1,000 times before, but you can, Candace. Thank you for telling me, my friend. And Stacy is the female version of Chad. Stacy, like that name, will forever be the Stacy's mom has got it going on. So, like, I feel like Stacy got cucked in that situation. 21 days intense. Insane. It is. Well, it's not insane. I mean, your body is capable of doing it, but it is insane to just try and wrap your head around it. Twaffle is here as well. Morning to you, my family friend. It's nice to have you here. Ben is here. We did it, y'all. We did it, Ben. We passed 150 days, dude. Moving towards 200 now. We should do something big for day 200. I did send Uncle's Becky's drawing. I finally finished it. I should actually share it with you friends as well. Yeah, I will. After the stream, I'll share it with you friends as well. That's right, my brother. The RKOing of the dragons, dude. Just tuning in. I'm new here. Why you guys doing without food? Going without food? So you'll have to have Viking Queen or Candace answer that question for you. I've done fast myself for like the reason of you lose a lot of weight. You lose a lot of weight very efficiently, as in your body is more likely to use only fat in your weight losing and no muscle gets burned. And then the second thing is just, it's great for your health as well, dude. Gives you so much mental clarity. It's quite a vibe. South Africa, yeah, Bumblebee. I live in South Africa. Love you too, Dragonborn. Your shirt is fantastic. I'm always digging the colorful attire you wear. I'm happy that you appreciate it, Sugar. Sugar Mongolia? I'm happy that you like them, friend. Like, I try and switch them up, but I only have that many. Hopefully, one day, I'll have, like, this is something I've talked about before, and this is something I'm actually very serious about. I have this very detailed idea in my head of, like, a suit that kind of, should I be giving away my intellectual information, my IP? You know what? If you friends want to realize this dream for me, before I get to realize it, then by all means go ahead. But I'm imagining like a suit that one has little pipes running out in the interior of it that goes like against your skin. I think they should have some sort of gap, but I like, okay, so let me just explain the full idea I have. An entire suit that covers your body from the neck down, right? You unzip it at the back, and then you can inflate it with a liquid for it to expand. Then you get in the suit, you let some of the liquid out, and then it kind of like shape fits your body. Then at the back of this entire suit, there's a module that basically gets connected to your back, and then gets connected to the inner piping of your suit. And then that module regulates temperature so that you can literally walk into the desert and survive the heat because you have this like wetsuit technically keeping your temperature balanced. I don't know, like there's so many, like I have a very detailed idea of how to do this. At least, you know, if I could just fabricate things out of nothing in my mind. But the material science that we're going to have to figure out before that is something that's possible. Material science, we're going to have to figure out energy storage. We're going to have like something that's ultra dense because you don't exactly want to carry 10 kilograms of batteries with you to power your suit. Maybe something that can be self-powered. And then on top of all of this, what I want the suit to do to be able to like regulate my body temperature no matter where I go. I also want the exterior of it to be completely lined with LEDs. So you can literally just like on your phone change your outfit. Or you could have a flowing outfit that like, like imagine how cool that would be. I've been tripping out about this for a long time. I want to do it. I will do it. I just, like, it's gonna be very expensive. Like, I'm imagining like $1 million to realize this technology. Oh man, it's gonna cost a lot more than that, isn't it? Oh well, we'll get there when we get there. I'm gonna take a sip of water because I'm thirsty. I wanna set an intention for why I'm drinking water. You know what? Realization. E. To realizing our dreams, friends. As ridiculous as they may be, I'm fasting to heal my body. I had a recent miscarriage and my body felt out of place, so I'm resetting it. I think you're doing the perfect thing for yourself. Uncle Becky is being that Reddit festival ready. Is getting that Reddit festival ready. Yeah, dude, like me and Aunt B actually had a chat about, doing a melt fest somewhere in the future. Or we were talking in chat in the stream about doing a melt fest, and Aunt B happened to be in the chat and she was like, woo woo woo! Like come to Haywire Hill if you want to do something like that. So we have venue down. Texas is kind of in the middle, so most people can get there reasonably. Yeah, it's gonna be a thing, friend. It's definitely gonna be a thing. I'm sorry to hear about your miscarriage. I'm sure that has not been easy. I don't think it will ever be easy, but I think Candace has had a very mature way of dealing with her feelings, and I think she can in turn help people, through something like that as well. I think she is definitely a thought leader when it comes to how to deal with that sort of thing. Neck to waist. Neck to waist. Are you talking about the suit I'm talking about? I'm sure that would not be easy. Yeah, it like not even neck to waist, neck to feet, dude. Like literally an entire bodysuit. Like every single centimeter up to your neck is covered in suit. And then this suit is like lined with like water flow channels all across it. So like first and foremost, this thing's gonna reach some sort of equilibrium. And what's nice is you won't actually need that much energy to keep yourself cool in like a normal homeostasis state. But when you get into like extreme heat, then it will have to like crank up some sort of, a refrigeration unit to keep you cool. But damn, that would be so sick, dude. Did you ever used to wear all black growing up? I actually did, Simon. I used to be the one of them dark teens, dude, of the fucking black hoodies. You know how it be. But not anymore. It's okay. It is what it is. We have to accept it. And I have been healing. Life is beautiful, even in the sad moments. Absolutely. That's what's most important. I use this experience to help other mothers heal and grow from it. That is like the most humble thing that you could possibly do. We're so proud of you, Candace. Thanks for the stream. 36 hours sober after 2 years straight without a day off. So thanks for keeping me distracted. It's very, like, this is tripping me out a little bit that you're joining us in stream today, because I felt like this weird calling to not smoke weed in stream today. And I think it's for you, Reddit user Low. Thank you for joining us, friend. Thank you for being here and for sharing in this space. We're proud of you, friend. You got this. You got this, dude. You're stronger than this addiction. And if you relapse, I'm not saying you should relapse. If you relapse, don't beat yourself up. Get right back on that horse, you friend. I believe in you. Viking, that's true inspiration. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. I'm a banker and I wear a suit every day. That sounds great, right? Right? Imagine if you could just, walk out of your business with your suit on, and then you like press one button and you're like, you're in your fancy clothes and your dancing clothes, right? And like this is something I've actually been thinking about. The reason I'm so heavily invested in this technology, or the realization of this technology, is because of my dancing. Like I get extremely hot when I'm dancing. Like even more so in certain scenarios, but I get hot to the point where it feels like steam comes off of me. It gets that hot. So if I can have myself a suit that can keep my body cold even though I'm going crazy. Stream dropped. That would be great. Let's start it up again. Oh Reddit. Oh Reddit. I'm happy though that like I actually anticipated this happening, and I copied my title like beforehand. So like maybe I jinxed myself, maybe not. So the title that I'm setting is "Look Back at Life and Say You've Won." Huh? Say you've won. Crash, smash, pash. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm having the time of my life. Let's go live again. Man, the comments that I'm missing, friends. I care about your comments so much. Realization. Like, that's the thing. I'm not too worried about the streams dropping. I mean, it literally took me a few seconds to start it up again. But the losing of the comments, that I do not actually enjoy. While we're waiting for this thing to tune in again, let's say something else that's worth saying. Ooh, this one's about humility. Genuine humility flows from the deep-seated recognition that you cannot save yourself, that you are created and not creator, and that you are in fact, and that you are a fact and not cause. Yo, that's a difficult one to wrap my head around. I do understand what it's trying to say, but there's a lot to it. Let's read it again. Genuine humility flows from the deep-seated recognition that you cannot save yourself, that you are created and not creator, and that you are a fact and not cause. First, Jovan took it from me the last time. Won't have that happen again, Lane. You had your trigger finger ready, dude. So, this thing worth saying, the way of understanding it is just to, like, I think almost a surrendering. Yeah, a surrendering of the power. Because I do believe we are creators, right? I don't believe we are the creator, though. So, we are created in the image of the creator. But we're not exactly that, all of that. Reddit is tripping, Reddit be tripping. It's insane, Reddit be tripping. Like, I'm not too stressed about the Reddit thing though, like it can drop all at once. I'm just tripping about the comments, dude. Like a minute and a half, 10, 20, I don't know how many comments that I'm just like in ether. Like it could have been a divine creation, it could have sparked some sort of great idea, and now it will never be, dude. The potential that's lost. I love you, friends, so much. I hope that you send your comments again if you have any. Something called life is not yours. Dude, are you on drugs? It depends on what you mean by drugs, friend. Depends on what you mean by drugs. Like, I drank some coffee, so yes, technically, I am. Are you? Like, people, dude. People, and this is something that you deal with a lot as well. I've seen it in your comments, especially when we go like front page with our dancing streams. Everybody just assumes, oh yeah, like the reason this guy's laughing and having the time of his life and dancing or whatever must be drugs. Like, no, friends, actually, you get to be happy even without drugs. Surprise, surprise. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for joining us again. Yeah, especially since you were so far behind on comments. I wasn't that far behind. I was like a bit, like a wee little, like a minute and a half. Like when it gets to like me being 20 minutes behind comments, that's when I'm like far behind. And then I feel so dreadful because I'm like scrolling down and then I see myself like edging over like the 19-minute mark, because as you scroll, it sets the time basically as soon as you see the comment, not exactly when the comment was sent. So as I scroll up on the comments, there will be like 19 minutes ago comments, and then I scroll up and then it says 21 minutes ago. So I've like fallen behind as I read comments, and I'm like trying to catch up, dude. Constantly trying to play catch up. I wouldn't have it any other way though. Every single one of you friends are important to me. Silly, yes. I can be silly sometimes. I don't understand a lot of this stuff. I try to. There's another one. Like, let's read one more thing worth saying, and then we'll put the little book away. When you realize that try as you might, you can never wrap the self around the source, you will experience true humility. Let's kind of sit with that one. K8 Black, hey Meltmore, finally saying hello here. Yeah, it's nice of you to say hello. We like kind of bumped into each other in someone else's stream. I think it was it Sinsane's stream? No, It wasn't. Can't remember. Too many streamer friends, but I do remember you, K8. Thank you for saying hi here with us. When you realize that try as you might, you can never wrap the self around the source, you will experience true humility. PBGB, yes. Yes, that's the one. Thank you for letting me know, friend. Man, like that thing worth saying is kind of bonking me right now. Knocking me on the head. Because, like, another way of, like, verbalizing it is just to imagine, like, spreading yourself or your own consciousness out enough to encapsulate the entire universe, right? So, let's do a little bit of a mental experiment. Like, you're consciously aware of your own body and your own surroundings right now, right? So, now, let's zoom out like 20 meters. And you can look at your own, like, building or wherever it is you're sitting. Look at yourself from that perspective. Now, zoom out to on top of your, like, city. See your little city on the map of the planet. Then zoom out and look at your entire country. Then zoom out and look at the entire Earth. Then zoom out, look at the entire solar system. Then zoom out, look at our entire galaxy. Then zoom out, try and imagine billions of galaxies. You see where I'm going here? Like, the further along we get, the more almost ethereal or the more wishy-washy these ideas become. Because it's impossible for our finite minds to wrap itself around infinite source. Yeah, that's where humility comes from. Does the number 151 mean anything? Well, it's been 151 days of daily streaming. So other than that, it might not mean anything. But like what I've been doing as well, like 151, say at the end of the day that you've won, right? Like I try and like do a little bit of a rhyme. I can't do that indefinitely, but I would like to try. What is this? Did you find the top 20 BuzzFeed tweets by barefoot dudes in the park and you decide to recite them? That's hilarious. Yeah, basically. That's what I'm doing, dude. This isn't profound in any way. I appreciate you staying though, calmer. Like, calmer than you. I'm sure you are, friend. I'm sure you are. You must be. Like, if you're to the level of wokeness where these things are just like, I've already like experimented with these ideas 10,000 times. Like, then I can't teach you anything, friend. And I'm not here to teach you anything. We're just here to share experience at the end of the day. From what are you reading? So this is just basically snippets that I took from a book series called The Way of Mastery. And as I've been listening to this book series, like things that really stand out to me, things that make me feel something, I'm like, okay, like, those when someone says something that's profound and you kind of stop yourself and you kind of just like that feeling. Like when I have those feelings, I'm like, oh, nah, I need to write this down. This is something worth sharing, something worth saying. No, I do not see where you are going. Are you talking about the zooming out? The idea of it, my friend, is just to recognize that we don't have the capacity to render the entire universe in our finite minds. And yet, the entire universe exists. So there's no way, no possible way, for us to wrap the self we identify with around this entire, just our universe. Never mind the source that creates it. Never mind the thing that the universe is in, right? Like, think about that for a second. Not only do we have this infinitely fast expanding universe, there is something it's expanding into, right? And I believe that thing it's expanding into is infinite awareness, infinite consciousness. And it's from this infinite consciousness that all things arises. At least that's the way that I've tried to wrap my feeble little self around the idea of it. You can flip the Arpan channel. You can flip the Arpan channel. I'm not sure what you mean, Lisa. Oh, you mean the friend that's not... Yeah. I mean, like, let him stay. I appreciate friends that challenge the ideas. At the end of the day, if we're like in an echo chamber where we only agree with one another, nothing new gets said, nothing new gets felt, nothing new gets explored. So having differing opinions, having a friend that don't agree with what we say is a fantastic thing as well in itself, because I believe it creates an opportunity where you can feel more things and you can explore new ideas. How high are you right now, friend? I'm not too high. Interestingly enough, I did smoke a joint this morning for relief after dancing because my feet were killing me. I decided to dance barefoot against my better judgment. When it's cold and you stomp down on your feet, it can kind of get hectic. So yeah, not that high, friend. I appreciate you being here with me though. Do you drink mellow corn? I don't know what mellow corn is. I'm drinking water at the moment, friend. Good morning, Meltmore and dear friends. I do hope you are all well. You are all in my thoughts throughout my day. Thank you, Jasmine. You're in our thoughts as well, friend. I hope that you're well. How have you been? How's life been treating you? Thwaffle, stoned as hell, like every morning. Wake and vape. Oh, you were talking to it again. Thwaffle. I mean, more power to you, friend. Matthias is here as well. Hey, Matthias. Thank you for the hugs, friend. I appreciate you. How have you been, friend? I feel like you've been like kind of sneaky, just like slipping in words in the streams. Felt like we haven't actually had a chat with you in forever. You know what I thought about recently as well? Alex. Bides Green, or Green Bides, or something like that, I believe his username was. It's been forever since we've seen him in chat. I'm thinking about him as well. I'll reach out to him. Yo, how's everyone doing? Hey, Dan. I think I reached out to you yesterday as well. I was thinking about you, brother Bear. Been thinking about you, man. Like, have you finished your move yet? Like, you should keep us up to date, dude. I felt like I haven't heard from you in forever. No, it's hi. How are you, friend? Yes, that's the one. Thank you, Jovan. Hey, Dan and Matthias. Hey, Lisa. Morning, Red Clicker. It's nice to have you here as well, friend. I'm just giving you shit, my man. You be you. Please do, friend. Give me all the shit that you want, dude. I mean, like at the end of the day, I'm not one to shy away from experience. I'm not one to shy away from things being told to me. Like, this is why we're here, right? The negative parts of life, we can't pretend they don't exist. We can't pretend they don't exist. But we can choose how we react to them. Like if you're, what did you say? If you're giving me shit, right? And I take it and I kind of just, lose my mind and I throw it against the walls and I throw it at you, then that's not going to be a great way to dealing with the shit you're giving me. But if I take that shit and I work it into the land, right? I get a good mixing and I put seeds in that soil that's mixed with all of this shit, then I'm going to get healthy plants because they've been fertilized. So all of the shit you're giving me, friend, is just fertilizer. Just throwing onto the Meltmore fire, dude. It's just gonna become more of the same. It's the same energy we're sharing with one another at the end of the day. Like, you choosing to give shit or to give flowers is still the same giving, right? It comes from the same source. And that's what's important. That's why I'm not judging what you're giving me, friend. I'm just choosing what I'm gonna do with it. Let's all disagree with everything Meltmore says for 30 minutes. Let's bring it, Simon. Let's bring it, dude. I love you, man. And I believe that we should love one another. Did the power just trip? I'm watching that, that little Wi-Fi icon. It's not dropping, so I'm guessing it's still live. Alright, it's insane. Scarmelia's here as well. She says, hey there, Melt. Finally came across your stream one time today. It's nice to have you here, Scarmelia. How have you been, friend? How have you been? How's the apartment situation going? Are you still making your cat toys? Are you still stuffing them with catnip? Get us up to date. I've been missing you, friend. I've seen him all the time in chat. I've seen him all the time. Which one? The new friend? I can't remember his name already. I feel bad. Let's remember our teethy friend. Oh, the calmer than you. And we have another one as well. Jonah from Sellers. They're nice people, I'm sure. Love and light to you, friends. Just saw your message. I've been good, my dude. Starting the new gig tomorrow. Look at that. Dad is starting his new gig tomorrow, dude. How are you feeling about that? I'm guessing there's some anxiety, right, attached to that, which is completely normal because it's the uncertainty that really gets us at the end of the day. I'm sure you'll be fine, dude. All starts insane. I actually think there is absolutely nothing to cannabis. It's just a drug that breaks your brain. What am I supposed to say to someone that says something like that at the end of the day? Like, I think Like, okay, so like what I usually want to say in that circumstance is that it's just a plant on our planet, right? It's just a plant, and people's attachment to what this plant does, or maybe their idea of what it's supposed to do, I think is the real problem. And interestingly enough, like when you smoke cannabis in a community where people don't see it as something that's taboo, they don't see it as something that's sinful or, wrong to be doing. Like the whole good people don't smoke cannabis, you know? Like if you come from a community where that isn't the general consensus, you actually gain more from the experience. It's a more enjoyable experience if you smoke with people that are okay with you smoking. And I believe that is just, the power of our mental states. I don't think it is that way because like we need people's approval or whatever. I do think, however, like if we even for a split second think that like this is something we need to hide, this is something that if someone saw us doing this, we'd be embarrassed, we'd get exiled, then you're basically going into this experience with that as like your basis, your intention. And it's hectic, dude. Like people really wreck themselves because of that. That's where I believe a lot of the anxiety comes from. Yeah, cannabis doesn't help at all. It fries your brain like eggs on a stuff. Oh man, it makes me think of like there's this new show. What's it called? I can't remember. Drugs for you, dude. Those weeds. But you know the Ron Swanson character from is it Parks and Recreation? It might be. I'm not, selling my case here properly. But anyway, they make this like show where he does this like little skit where he takes an egg and he puts it in the oven or a little stove pan and he's like, "This is your brain on drugs." Like cooks the egg. And then he puts it in a sandwich and like, "This is your brain on my sandwich." And then he takes a bite out of it. And I just love that actually. Oh my goodness. You look like Wilbur Soot. I don't think I've had that one before. We have another one to add to the list, friends. Wilbur Soot. So Wilbur Soot, Kit Harington, Chris Hemsworth, Heath Ledger, Chris Pontius. I think that's the ones we've got, right? I need to look up. Oh, and we've got Young Gravy as well. I need to look up what Wilbur's suit looks like so I can see how accurate you are, friend. Dumbing you down, Lane, is that what you're saying? Breaks your brain? That's the most broken brain statement. Yeah, they're trolling me, Fat Daddy. They're trolling me, friend. We should never love one another. I believe loving each other has led to war in the first place. Yeah. I loved you so much. I'm gonna have to go to war with you to take all of the stuff you have because I love that even more. You can break logic any way you want. Hello to you as well. Vinyl Bib? Vinyl Bib? It's nice to have you here, friend. If you didn't love anything, you'd have nothing you'd want to protect or take. That is also true. But wouldn't that include yourself? If you didn't love anything, like if you were incapable of loving things, you would be incapable of loving yourself as well. And I think it's from a place of self-love where we take care of ourselves, right? Like, and this is something that is very important for people to realize as well. You shouldn't be losing weight or like taking your diet seriously because you hate yourself and you want to change yourself. You should be loving yourself so much that you have this intention to actually go out and make life better for yourself because you believe that's what you deserve, right? It's a very different way of thinking about things. And I think a lot of people have numbed themselves in general, and as a result, they numb themselves to, the love of themselves as well. We don't take care of ourselves as nearly as well as we're supposed to. But when we're taking care of others, then we're like 100% on the ball. Giving is useless to oneself. You should keep it to yourself. Yeah, the dragon mentality, right? Jeff Bezos. As a kid, one day I'm gonna be a dragon. You can't be a dragon, Jeff Bezos. And then he just makes himself all of the gold coins and he just rolls in gold, dude. He's a dragon now, dude. He's a dragon. God take it away from him. Best wishes, Dan. Positive vibes your way. Absolutely. Hi again. I'm back with my free award for you. Thank you, Jose. I appreciate the free award, friend. You don't have to add the free award part. I just appreciate your presence. That's what's most important. Your stock news shares a YouTube link. I don't know what it's to. I would recommend you friends that dare to click on it to click with caution. I don't know where it's going. Why do burbs eat dog food? Because it's nutrition at the end of the day. That's why. Like it's simple food. Like if you had to choose, if you were like a bird and you knew where to find dog food and you had to choose versus like flying tree to tree to look for like berries or worms, and you had to like go on the ground where you're in danger of animals and like scrub around and try and find little seeds, like small, like arguably the things you would find in nature would be rather small that you could eat. Now suddenly you're presented with this option of eating dog food, which is like these individual little pellets that contain carbohydrates, that contain some protein, probably contain some vitamins as well. So like from a bird's logical standpoint, it makes sense to eat dog food. I don't know if that's the answer that you were looking for, but I think that's why, friend. I'm still applying to places. I have one more place I can apply to hopefully tomorrow. I'm still making cat toys and other things as well. I have expanded into hats and plushies as well as blankets and pillows. That sounds fantastic, Scarmelia. Like throw that wide net so you can catch as many fish as possible. I disagree. Mary J is just unprofessional. It will always be judged negatively in proper, classy environments. You know what's hilarious? It's insane. The fact that proper, classy environments, people will like, get schwiggity schwasted and they will like hit lines of coke all night. And then they'll like look at people that stayed at home and smoked a joint and watched the show together. Like, oh, look at these peasants, They can't afford to go drinking and snort coke all night. I'm gonna smoke my cigarette. What the fuck, dude? People will always find a reason to judge one another. If we continue thinking in the way we have been thinking, you know that it's a me versus you type of mentality. Simon, I would love to hear your ideas on creation and expression. There we go. Now we have some real comments from Lane. I do hope you find the perfect place for you, Scarmelia. I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. Day 151, huh? Nearing the point of no return. Dude, day 1 was the point of no return for me. Yeah. Me and my friend had a conversation last night where he is moving out. Actually, he's moving into his own place tomorrow. And he is 25 years old. And he's technically never lived by himself because he kind of went through the situation where he moved out of high school into a dormitory, where he was living with a bunch of other guys. Then after that one, he moved to another dormitory where he was living with a bunch of guys. Then he went to the ocean where he was living again in a dormitory setup, living with other people. Then he came back home to be with his mother before she passed away. So he was with his parents again. And now for the first time in his life, he's actually moving into his own apartment. And he's going to live alone. And he was like, dude, I need you to come and keep me company, dude. I need you to come and cook for me or something. Like, at least for a while. And he invited me to go over for an entire month. So, somewhere through the year, I might actually go to him, friends. We'll go and hang out with Christian. It will be a vibe. Oh yeah, the point I was trying to make. So I was talking with him yesterday about this, about coming over. And like, as we were talking about me coming over, I kind of like expressed my concern for wanting to be able to stream daily still. But I also upload these streams to YouTube daily. So it's like, it's been a little bit of a mission. Like I'm busy for about like 5, maybe 5.5 hours from the start of stream till I can actually turn my computer off, where I'm done uploading the video and stuff. So as a result of that, it's kind of necessary for me to have my computer and proper internet and to be able to stream as I do. And then like I mentioned something where I was like I take challenges onto myself and into my life that I know is going to be exceptionally difficult, because I feel for a lot of what I've been doing, I haven't been actually challenging myself, you know? Like and that's it's funny for me to say, because like I'm looking back at my life and all I can see is challenges, and yet I feel I haven't been challenged enough. So yeah, as soon as like day one hit, like the brain worm, the idea already kind of festered that I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, dude. This is how we do it. We commit, dude. We commit all the way. There is no such thing as creation or expression. Everything we do is a mimic or a remix of what we've learned from others, even down to our own thoughts and words. So, like, that's a very interesting point you're making there, Simon, because, like, I know you're making it sarcastically, but, there might actually be some truth to it. Not quite necessarily exactly as you're saying it, but maybe on an infinite level. So, on an infinite level, technically, yes, everything has already been created, already been expressed, already been experienced. All like every thought, every word has already been thought, has been said. And that's a trippy way of thinking about things. But the beauty of it is that we get to experience a temporary vessel in this infinitude, and we get to think thoughts, and we get to have these, conversations. We get to create, we get to express ourselves in a way that we think is completely unique, and we get to experience it as a novel experience. But maybe on the grand scheme of things, there is no such thing. It's a trippy thought, and it's not one I would 100%, put all of my eggs in, but yeah. You don't look like Wilbur Soot at all. I've never even heard of that person, unfortunately. It's funny to see people bash weed. Makes me laugh while I smoke. They're being sarcastic, Red Clicker. They're being 100% sarcastic, friend. What came first, energy or matter? Like, it's the same, like that question just goes infinitely, friend. It's a non-dual way of looking at creation, because the whole idea of oneness, everything is the same. There's just different spectrums to it, right? Like, at what point is a room completely illuminated, and at what point is it completely dark? Where do we draw the line, right? It's still the same source, just being a little bit tuned. Square asses make me laugh too, even when they aren't square ass and weed. Oh, you're too convincing, Lane and Simon. Too convincing, you friends. You're having the other friends like try and fight you, because I'm not going to. Everyone needs a zebra fly swatter. A zebra fly swatter. I don't know what the difference between a fly swatter and a zebra fly swatter is. Disagreeing with Meltmore is backfiring. It's turning it into positive message, of course. Like that is literally the point I'm trying to make, Simon. Is because that's what we're capable of. That is literally what we're capable of. We can take the shittiest of situation and still draw some sort of divine information from that, and that's the best part about it. Real curls. yeah, they grow this way out of my head, dude. Man, that is some insight there. Creation doesn't help society evolve. It's just some starving bums think they understand the world. Do any of us understand the world? Even, I believe, the most intelligent person on the entire planet has absolutely no fucking idea what's going on, dude. I can guarantee you. On the grand scheme of things, we are flying through space on a ball of mud circling a burning ball of mud, or just ball of gas, let's say rather. And if the Earth was to pass us, like if a car was to drive as fast as the Earth is going through space right now, and it was supposed to pass us, I think it would kill us. I think it would probably kill us with the amount of shock that thing would produce. But that's the trippy part about it, and we just take things for granted, dude. Like, technically, our normal is just chaos, dude. Absolute chaos in the universe. And then we have these tranquil experiences of being in nature, of calming down, having this experience, oh, look, this single moment. But in this single moment, we're like traveling thousands of kilometers. Like literally between one breath and another, you travel thousands of kilometers. Like, isn't that a trip to you? That's a trip to me. I love that. Neil, thank you, friend, for being here with us. Oh no, Simon, is he unbreakable? Maybe not unbreakable, but unstoppable. Yes. Like, I have this one friend, David. I love him so much. And while I was working out a lot and I was getting really yoked, it was definitely something I prided myself on a lot. Coming from being severely overweight to being stronger than my peers. And I came back from the gym, I was tired and kind of like beat, and I was like laying on my bed face down, and he came and he like laid on my back. And I took a selfie of that, just of the quote, when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. And I love that dude so much. We can't be stopped, friends. We're gonna keep going forever and ever. Unbreakable. I think my last one will get him. No way, he can turn that one around. I think I did though, didn't I? I think I did, dude. I think I did, bro. Where is your accent from? Sounds like a German immigrant who lives in Santa Cruz. My accent is from South Africa, friend. You're the cyber goth, dude. Am I? Thank you for letting me know, friend. Tell that to Peter Parker. My girlfriend brought up the idea that dragons might poop out diamonds and gold because in movies and books you never see them steal gold and stuff, only cows and livestock. Well, you have a very good point with what you're saying there, because you don't actually like see dragons like busting down kings' castles to like hoard their gold. But wouldn't that kind of take a lot away from the cool factor from like dragons? Like they're not sitting on piles of gold. They're just like rolling in their own feces, dude. Like that really takes the wow factor out of dragons for me. And Skyrim. It sounds like a vibe, dude. You can't raise livestock. Cows are ridiculously obstinate. Obstinate? Obstinate? I don't know what you're saying exactly, friend. I can't tell that to Peter Parker. He's not real. I think she's onto something. She may be 151. Yay, Meltmore. Yay, you. When it rains, it pours. Thank you for being here with us, friend. How have you been? How's life been treating you? I feel like I've been seeing you in the comment sections, the comment sections of streams, but I haven't been able to have a chat with you. How have you been, friend? Happy Monday, Rains. Absolutely. No derp. Dragons poop out diamonds because everything is carbon based, and inside a dragon it's hot and tight, so thus they pass out diamonds. That does make sense. Because they can breathe fire and stuff, right? But it doesn't explain the gold. It doesn't explain the gold, dude. Because it makes sense to compress carbon into diamonds. We all understand. I hope we all understand that. But you can't compress carbon into gold. Like, that's not how it works, unfortunately. My chat froze. I'm back. I'm happy that you're back, Simon. My chat is fortunately still going strong. We're still going strong, friends. Our stream hasn't dropped again. I'm so happy. I agree. The point of life, to read the Bible and follow it exactly, is not a perspective, it's law. Management Annie? I'm guessing you're just trolling right now. But yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. Day 51 of drug use. Well, we're drinking just water today, interestingly enough, friend. Maybe. Like, that would be a trippy series, dude. Let's see how long I can survive. Oh, goodness. Tech guys here as well. Hope everyone is well. Having a bowl before I go to see my flower lady. Like, now I'm curious, dude. Is your flower lady gonna sell you more stuff to put in your bowl? Or is she actually gonna sell you flowers? Melt, why do you look so cold? I thought it was warm in Africa. It is warm in Africa when it's summer. But it's winter right now, friend. The reason it's getting warm where you are is because it's getting cold here. So the Earth, even though it does circle our sun, technically circles our sun in an elliptical little, what do you call that? Cycle. Is it a cycle? Loop? Elliptical orbit, right? It orbits in an elliptical orbit. So when it comes to like the point where the ellipse is furthest out and the planet is also, turned away as it's turned out further, then that side of the planet is colder, quite literally. And as a result, as we fly through space and as this ellipse kind of moves between different places, other places get warm and other places get cold. It's pretty sick, dude. So it's cold here while it's getting warmer in other places. Lol at this religious fool in chat. Like, I think it was just a troll. It was actually just trolling. Dragons, as kids, fly and steal stuff. And then, when they get old, they just protect their treasure. Oh, knowing something themselves is dangerous because they're wiser, older. Okay, so now I'm imagining a really cool world in which dinosaurs are like just these little mischievous lizard-looking things before they fully transcend into being, not dinosaurs, dragons, before they fully transcend into being full dragons. So you have like these little mischievous lizards that climb castles and like break into the gold storage places and just like have hands full of gold and like running away from the guards. And then it collects and it collects and it collects. And like theoretically you can go like really ridiculous and say that they go through their juvenile stage for like 200 years. So if you spend 200 years collecting golden coins, you'll have like a treasure trove that size. And then as you transcend into being a full dragon, you're just kind of like chilling. Like, look, I have all the gold in the world. Like, but they still don't pay the farmers. Like, if you're gonna be eating their cows, like, just give them like 2 gold coins at least, right? Can do that much. Or maybe they're just too selfish to do that as well. That makes no sense, Simon. Like, I hope the way that I explained it makes a little bit of sense, because I do like that way of thinking about it. These juvenile little lizard, sort of, like they have these small little wings, and I'm just imagining them running on their back legs. You know, like that Jesus lizard that runs on water. But instead of just running like that, it also has like sacks of gold under its arms, like running away from the guards, dude. Man, that makes me happy. I've been alright. I'm getting signs from the universe to finish the wire tree today. You're doing wire trees? Ooh, please share that with us. Dragons be gold in molten form. Damn. Like, I'm questioning a lot of things about their biology, because it would mean they have like a whole pocket full of molten liquid just in them constantly. Oh, and it would be significantly worse to get peed on by a dragon than it would to get actually fire breathed by a dragon. Because liquid gold being peed on you would be horrendous. Significantly worse than just getting torched, I'm sure. This is such a weird thing to talk about, but I love it. I'm working on being present for those around me. I have discovered that since same streams, then I need to get moving in the morning. So I'm starting my days more active. I think that's fantastic, friend. Like, starting your day off more active. Just doing something, right? Like, that's the thing as well. People have this mindset of, I'm either going to be exercising or I'm going to not even attempt a single exercise or like a single rep of anything, right? You're either doing push-ups religiously or you're not doing anything. Why is there no, like, oh, I'm only going to do 3 push-ups today? Why don't we have that mid-ground? And that's the thing that, like, it doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe it's like because I'm an all or nothing type of person. Please tell me if you friends have experienced the same thing. At the same time, they go out to hunt for meals. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, dude. Just drop, like, monster dragon loads, dude. Peeing gold. No, please. It sounds too horrendous. Nothing gets you. Yeah. Not easily, friend. Like, at the end of the day, like, people, I've gone through a lot. Like, I was very bullied when I was a kid because I wanted to talk about the things I talk about here as well. And the place that I grew up in isn't necessarily the type of place that you talk about these things. Like this place I still live technically now has a mentality of we go to church and we drink on weekends. It's a really weird dynamic where people have this one-upmanship about how Christian they are, and they also like drink and fornicate on top of that. So it's this really like weird scene where rugby, like the football players, is like basically what life is about, dude. Like playing rugby, going to rugby games. Oh man, yeah, I'm getting salty about where I live. It's not the end of the world, but as a result of this, you get told a lot of things that can like kind of derail you or create some sort of inner turmoil. But at the end of the day, nothing can be taken away from me. Like no matter what someone says to me, it isn't going to take any of my, experience away. In fact, it's probably going to give me even more experience because now I get to feel something as a result of even the negative things that people say to me. Massive dragon shits on top, dude. Like I'm just imagining like this like poor old lady trying to push like a wheelbarrow full of straw like to the city or to the castle, and just like this massive load dropping on all of it, dude. And her just like looking at it and like being like, damn, the dragons, dude. The dragons, like they can eat the cattle, but why do they have to like shit on us as well? It would put a whole new dent in your car instead of just like a little white and black speck. Just you have dents, actual dents. Like it drops a hole in your roof. Orbit, yeah, that's the one. Thank you, friend. The flower lady fills my bowl. No tulips or roses. There we go. Thank you. Like, do tell us what flowers you're going to get, friend. Like, what flavor of flower, if you will? Equator. I'm not sure if equator is the word. That's a state of emergency. Little Timmy is caught in the shit. Bruh, imagine getting hit, dude. Getting hit by a massive steaming load, dude. And getting actually hit. Not just like it hits you. Like it hits you and then you with it hit the ground. No. Man, I'm getting too deep into this. That's so fascinating that it gets cold for you and it gets warm for us. Yeah, it's fantastic, dude. It's such a trip, dude. We're interconnected, even though there's a swing to it. I think it's both insane and Ted Guy's theory. It's in liquid form, and they leave gold deposits, and then number two the diamonds. What is happening here, dude? I don't even know. I don't even know. We've been talking about dragons and the theory that dragons poop both diamonds and gold, or now the theory that they poop diamonds and pee gold. That's why they have so much of it, but you never actually see them steal any of it. When they steal stuff, they're like stealing cattle or like sheep or something or people, not necessarily like troves of gold, right? You don't see a movie about a dragon breaking into a king's like fortune and like just getting as much gold as possible, right? I never knew about the cold winter in Safari. It's about to be summery. Yes, it is, friend. Well, it doesn't get that cold at the end of the day as well. Like it gets to like -5 degrees Celsius, which you friends will have to convert. But yeah, so not that cold where I am, but it gets colder in other places. You look like Solomon from the Bible. Yes, Solomon from the Bible. He's so well depicted with all of the photos and drawings and things of him. Yes. Sorry for being off topic, but dude, I love your outfits. Every time I tune in, your clothes are dope AF. Thank you, friend. That's beautiful of you to say. Don't worry about changing the topic. This is a very melty stream. We melt into every single possible topic. See where we can go. The more you melt, the more you flow. When a dragon steals a cow, okay, dragons breathe fire. I would believe their kidneys house molten gold. When a dragon steals a cow, it is a distraction for another dragon who is rescuing a gargoyle, obviously. Okay. So, it's like, it's a teamwork operation. Isn't gargoyles those stone type of things on castles or cathedrals? I haven't actually ever seen one of those in person. Maybe it's because of Quasimodo that I thought I would. Man, those gargoyles. Oh, that's great, Tafel. Exactly, Tafel. What did Tafel say again? Oh, the stealing of the gargoyles. Untold numbers of gargoyles living happily in Dragonlands. Hmm. Man, How to Train Your Dragon was such a cool movie series. Just to, explore this understanding or this imagination of being able to fly a dragon. Like, I recently thought about the Avatar movie again and how they could symbiotically connect like nerve endings to their animals that they rode. That must be a trip. Like, imagine being able to do something like that. Imagine being able to feel the legs of the horse you're riding, to feel how the hooves hit the ground, to feel how the muscles get exhausted. Ugh, man, like I love thinking about stuff like that, but it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. Would you friends opt in? Like, if you were in the situation where you could like transfer your consciousness to one of those like I don't know what those things were called again, or the species, uh, the blue people. Excuse me. But if you like had in the movie sense that ability to get into like a pod and then just pop into one of those bodies, even for a bit, would you want to do something like that? I would want to, just to be able to experience a different body. Like, those things are massive as well. Like, if you're that big, just imagine how strong you have to be. Being able to ride dragons. Oh man, like I'm super. I'm like just like lost in the world right now. Oh, I feel that. I tried to talk to my parents about spiritualism. They have a different way of thinking about it, but ultimately, that conversation ended up with more separation between me and them. Unfortunately, like that's what happens with me and my family as well. I'm not sure why exactly it happens, and I've been trying to understand it as well. And I think the best explanation of it that I've kind of come to is it's about this human need to be right about things. And like I feel spirituality definitely has this sense of like I feel this is right, right? And then when you try and explain that to someone, you're explaining it from that understanding that this thing that you understand is right. And when people have been believing that something else is right for their entire lives, it's very difficult to give up to you, even though you might have something that is subjectively right. Even though you have this information, you're still their child. And it's very hard for parents, especially, to kind of submit to that rightness, or admitting that they aren't right. And I feel like a lot of the turmoil can kind of come from you wanting to be right and wanting them to accept what is right as well. And I've realized that in myself, and it's something I've also, released. I don't have to be right. I don't have to say. I don't even believe everything that we say on these streams are the truth. Absolutely, like obviously, you friends know that we've been talking about dragons, poop, and gold and stuff. Golden diamonds, like these things don't have to be the truth, but we can still explore these ideas. And what I expect of you friends is to listen to these things and to form your own opinions, to make your own educated decision. Don't listen to me like what I'm saying is fact or law. Listen to me and then feel for yourself what you'll take and what you'll leave. Right? That's what us philosophers do. We explore ideas and we keep the good ones. Do you think it's better to discover religion early in life or later in life? I'm happy I got to choose when I was a kid after going to Catholic schools. I might have been indoctrinated if I met it later in life. Like that's a scary thing, and that's literally what I was thinking as well as I was reading your question, Simon. Because what happens is people feel very lost in life, and then they get introduced to this idea of religion and the understanding behind it, and then it gives them a lot of like clarity, or like because it's such a well understood thing, because it's been practiced right as a religion for so long. So it is something that has a lot of information behind it. It's a yeah, I'm not even gonna say it, but like it's I want to use the C word. It's a big C word, right? 4-letter C word. But the problem is that it's an understanding of something. And then when you understand something, it can be very empowering for you to feel like, oh, now I understand how I'm supposed to do things. And then from that point where you feel you have that understanding, it can be very easy for someone to take advantage of that, right? To see or to understand that you are in a place of seeking, and then to give to you what it is potentially you are seeking for. But at the end of the day, we are always seeking as human beings. What I've now chosen in my own life is to seek the truth, right? That's all we can really expect of ourselves to do, is to seek the truth, question everything. Like, ask questions, let other people ask questions, listen to their questions, weigh their questions, feel how you feel about these things instead of just writing them off, pretending they don't exist. This resonates with me being in the Bible Belt, living with judgmental Bible pushers who are the biggest hypocrites in the daily struggle. Like, it's a very weird thing where people have hypocritical like doings in their life, even though they taught to be Christians. And that's actually one of the biggest reasons I stopped being a Christian when I was like 13 years old, because I was looking at people who were claiming to be Christian, who were like also kind of forced by their parents to go to church every week, and then also had judgments toward others because they weren't in the same church that they were, right? Like that's kind of the vibe. And then I was like, witnessing how these people live their lives, how they chose to communicate with their friends, what they chose to talk about, and then also at the same time pretending to be, these like model citizens, right, of the Christian belief system. And then as a result of that, I started questioning the whole thing in general. I was like, if this is what people say they are when they're trying to like pursue this religion, then how much more is there to it? And then I like literally the questioning started. Even when I was a young kid, I was like also just questioning things. I was like, but why? Why do we do it this way? I've noticed those one of our Christians are usually the hypocritical ones. They don't even practice the basics like being kind to strangers. Exactly that, friend. It's not what we want to see. I'm in Texas, relatable. I don't know a lot about Texas. Since saying I'm grateful that I was not subject to indoctrination at a young age. Yeah, like I feel I was, and unfortunately I feel it took a hold of my brothers and sisters because they're very much of the Christian belief system and also refuse to listen or to believe anything other than that. So it is difficult, friend. It is. All we can do is love one another at the end of the day. Forgive one another for the things that we said that we don't agree with, and we'll be okay. Right? Once we live in judgment and like fear of one another, like fear of talking to one another because there's going to be some sort of disagreement or judgment of what they believe because they don't believe the same things we do, those things just create more like inside of ourselves. It's not what we want. I think it doesn't matter when you find it, as everyone has their own mental and spiritual maturity. It's more so when you learn and can say that you truly believe this for yourself, by yourself. Yeah, that's the thing as well. I feel that's what I'm trying to like earn for myself now, Lane, is that, having found what you were supposed to find for yourself, not taking people's words for things and just questioning, constantly questioning. You don't see those stories because the dragons likely burned everyone alive. Yeah, probably melt like dragon pee. Heading out now. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Have a beautiful day when it rains. It's nice to have you here, friend. In India, Dragonborn. In India, well, more so a cult. You can transfer consciousness into animals, but it's dangerous to go back into a body because it needs protection. While gone, my phone dies. So yeah, that's an interesting thing you just said, reasonable detail. And I don't know how much of it is fact, but it's a great thing to think about. Because what he's saying is that in India they know how to transfer your consciousness into animals, but it's something that's dangerous because your body is vulnerable. That I wouldn't do. Like, to me, it's quite specifically being able to take like something that grows out of my brain into my hair and then has like endpoints that can connect to other endpoints. Like, that's the trippy part to me. um I'm okay. Oh, okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had a reading class with my girls. No, 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 no. Don't be sorry at anything. Thank you for being here, Candace. I would not want to transfer my consciousness, yeah, into another living thing because I wouldn't want to be stuck in that thing or my own body wither away. Yeah, I'm also not down for that, friend. Makes me think of Bran from Game of Thrones. Yeah, that's basically what he does. But that's, the rolled back eyes is not a vibe for me. I would just like to see my parents grow from these ideas I have heard one agree with and agree with. I mean, I'm a teen. I couldn't even assume I'm right because I have so little life experience. But I have experienced life in my own way, and I think my parents could learn from some of my ideas. I feel the exact same way, Lane, but I've given up on expecting that, if that makes any sense, right? Like, I'm still willing to share the ideas I have and the things I think. I'm just no longer attached to them agreeing with me or accepting what I'm saying, right? I'm just being like, here is it, take it or leave it. Like, that's what I'm doing right now. Elpuff, thank you for being here, friend. It's nice to have you. How have you been? Do you wake and bake every day? No, friend. I don't actually. I don't. Like, very rarely. And learning religion is spirituality. I think to find your own truths and paths. Learning religion is spirituality. I think to find your own truths and paths. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe there's like something mistyped there, but I'm guessing you're saying that learning religion is like spirituality. I think there's a lot of spiritual practices in religion. Like, praying can be seen as a spiritual practice, right? Coming together in spaces can be seen as a spiritual practice. Like, there's good morals in the Bible as well, and it's a good storytelling device to teach people those morals. But to say that is the only truth and there's no variation, that is what I don't agree. At first, people are judgmental of your views and poke at every flaw they believe they see. Yeah, people will do that, and I encourage that as well. Like, if someone can actually point out a flaw in my thinking, if you can suggest a new way of thinking that is better than my current way of thinking, I 100% encourage that. Because why would I not want to think better about life? Why would I not want to have a better understanding of my place in the whole, of what I'm supposed to be doing here? Like, I believe it's pretty elementary that we all want that. We all want to be happy. Is that the ocean behind you? No, friend. It's not the ocean. That is mountains behind me, furthest behind me. Oi, 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 oi. Good morning, brethren. That EG82 or TJ, how are you, friend? It's nice to have you here, man. I'm still waiting on your scarf, dude. I'm still waiting, man. Like, it seems like the packages take forever to arrive, dude. Forever and ever. At first, they blew, but when they see no are involved and see that it's purely on belief and understanding, people get freaked out. Yeah, that's the tricky part about it. I don't believe children have much spirituality. Spiritual maturity, everything you learn at a younger age has a larger impact on your development than as an adult. I do believe that, but I believe you have more spiritual maturity as a child, actually. I believe we lose a lot of our spiritual maturity as we grow up and as we get obsessed with our egos. So, because children have this very ethereal nature to how they're experiencing things, right? They're not attaching external experience so much to the I as they are, or the me as much as they are attaching it to the I, right? Like a baby looking at the outside world and putting things in its mouth doesn't have like a judgment of that outside world. It's only when we start forming our egos where we start forming judgments of it. And I believe that the baby state of mind is a more spiritual, more calm, more enlightened state of mind than we usually have in our adult lives. They are just scared, Lane. Oh, sorry, I haven't read your comment yet. That exact sentiment about Christians, they are often pretending and putting on an act, is what I've tried to show my parents in the past. I thought they were seeing it, but I was wrong. People don't want to see some things sometimes as well, dude. We were connected. Yeah, as you say, Lisa, it's all they know. We were connected before we were born. We are born connected. Knowing we are connected. Exactly, Thwaffle. And if people are like, oh, we're not connected, we have separate bodies. Brr, 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 brr. If you want to think about it on a scale level, if you zoom out to look at our entire universe, and you find us on that universe, and you take a neutron star, the atoms in this neutron star isn't as close as me and you are to one another right now. So the densest thing we know of in our universe isn't even as densely packed as me and you are to one another. We're in this soup, dude, melting together, dude, moving over this planet, dude, leaving little trails. We're in a big soup. We're not separate. To me, religion is based on fear, but you cannot live life in fear, or else you manifest more fear into your life. Yep. Absolutely. If you live from a place of fear, fear is what you're going to get in return. I agree with that, it's insane. But I also would never turn down the idea of a child with a higher spiritual maturity. The world is so large with so many people. It's not impossible. So, I've shared my opinion on it. I believe we start losing that spiritual maturity around age 3, 4, 5, usually for people, because it's in that time when you start to form your ego. It's at that time when you start to start displaying what you like and what you dislike. Sometimes it can start a lot earlier as well, where you start having judgments of things, right? It's a trippy way of thinking, dude. Hi, I'm lurking here, quiet lurker. It's okay, Elpuff, I appreciate you. Leia, thank you for lurking, as long as you're just here sharing your presence with us. Do you actually have a smooth viewing experience of the stream with your interwebs? I do hope so. Once you accept that death is birth in the same and fear is an illusion within you, you can bring the baby steps of peeling back the layers. Yes, I do agree completely with what you're saying. Death is not something to be feared. I just don't think it's something we've earned yet. I can look back at life and I've lost in stocks and crypto. Did you, friend? Did you really? If your entire life fast forwarded right now to the point where you were on your deathbed, literally breathing your last breaths, you're not going to have really lost those stocks, those cryptos. You would have lost all of your time that you get to spend on this world. And when you die, you're going to lose that single moment of where you are, right? And how you feel about things. You're not going to think about your stocks and about your crypto, dude. With your loss, you gained knowledge. Yes, absolutely. Very well put. I didn't even think to say that, Simon. You've learned how to not lose in stocks in the way that you did, how to not lose in crypto in the way that you did. And that's a divine experience, friend. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. There is no such thing as loss. Just like a butterfly is transformed, shifted energy to take another form. For us, it's an idea or thought, negative to positive, etc. With the miscarriage, the loss of a child was just energy shifting to a different form that will better my life in some way. It will be in my life at some point, if I can see it or not. I do feel that. You're very right, Candace. The thing is as well, people, or at least our egos, I want to say rather, not people, our egos have this propensity or this need to label things, in one way or another. Because when we label things, and it's our egoic need to label things, we think we understand them. We think okay, I have identified you as this, right? People try hippie, people try stoner, people try guru, people try actors, people try this, people try that. Because we think once we identify things oh, this is who you are, this is what you look like, this is, well, however you want to say, then they're like, okay, now that I've identified you, I know you. No, I don't even know me. How can we know one another? How can a knife cut itself? How can a fire burn itself? How can the ocean drown itself? We can't know ourselves. And that's the beautiful part of it. Because again, like the start of this today's stream, the intention or the one of the things worth saying is this self would never be able to wrap itself around source or just the universe if you don't want to think even larger than that. Yeah, that's what I leave you friends with. Oh, feel it, take it and feel it. See what you think about it, friends. See what you think about it. I love you and I appreciate you sharing this space with me. I'll see you again tomorrow.